So just so you know, the Law of One books are available on Amazon, written by Katherine Jordan. This is Session 10 from January 27th, 1981. The people of Maldek had a civilization that was a bit like Atlantis. They learned a lot about technology and used it without caring about keeping their planet safe. Most of their thoughts, ideas, and actions were negative, or all about helping themselves. For the most part, they truly believed something that, from our point of view, seemed good. The destruction that ruined their planet and made it fall apart was caused by war. The escalation reached the peak of technology that this social complex of Maldek had about 705,000 years ago. The cycles had started much earlier on this sphere, given its ability to support first-dimension life forms at an earlier point in your solar system's spacetime. These beings were so scared by this event that they were stuck in what you might call a knot or tangle of fear at the social level. Some of your time passed. No one could reach them. No one could help them. About 600,000 of your years ago, the members of the Confederation at that time were able to use a social memory complex and untie the knot of fear. The beings were then able to remember that they were conscious. This awareness brought them to what you would call the lower astral planes, where they could be cared for until each mind, body, and spirit was finally able to heal from this trauma to the point where each being was able to look at the twisted ideas they had experienced in their past life and in the illusion. After this learning and teaching experience, the group decided to take on what you might call karma relief. For this purpose, they came to our planet in forms that were not acceptable human shapes. They then went through this until the problems from destruction were replaced by a desire for a clearer view of serving others. Because this was the clear choice of most of those beings from the Maldek experience, the move to this planet began about 500,000 years ago, and the type of body available at that time, which was the ape body, was used. So, the consciousness of Maldek was always, third density. The karma relief was actually designed to be in second density bodies, which are not able to be as skilled in the distortions of third density. Many of these entities, they were able to remove the buildup of karma, and so they became able to accept a third density cycle in a third density body. Most of those who succeeded have incarnated elsewhere in creation for a third density cycle in third density bodies on other planets. As this planet reached third density, some of these entities became able to join the sphere's vibration in third density form. The Bigfoot type, those are the Maldek entities who have not yet relieved the distortions during the previous warfare. Our human race actually is made up of beings from Maldek, Mars, and honestly, from many other places in creation. Because when there's a change in cycles, those who need to repeat will find a suitable planet for their repetition. It's actually quite unusual for one planet to have beings from many places. And just like a large number of humans on Earth today will have to repeat the cycle. It's been hard to get everyone on the same page, even with the help of many of our teachers here on Earth. So, here's a question that comes up. When graduation happens at the end of a cycle and beings are moved from one planet to another, by what means do they go to a new planet? I am Ra. In the Creator's plan, the first step for the mind, body, spirit, whole being is to put its mind, body, spirit complex in the right place of love and light. This is done to make sure the complex heals correctly and in the end becomes one with the whole being complex. This process, can take a very different amount of your time and space. Once this is done, the cycle's experience is broken down and filtered until only the pure form of the changes remains. At this point, the collected mind, body, spirit, whole being looks at what its own being needs and picks the best new place, whether that means doing the cycle again or moving on to the next. And this is how the gathering works, which is guarded and watched over by many. The mind, body, spirit totality, being are in reality all one with the Creator. There is no bending of time or space, so it's just a matter of thinking about the right spot in the endless pattern of time and space for the being to be moved from one planet to another. for the best place to repeat the third density cycle. So, a person can learn the law of one on purpose or by accident. When they learn it on purpose, they can grow much faster. You know, a person can grow a lot more while they are in the third density than between lives, because between lives means being in a spiritual place instead of in our physical world here on Earth in a physical body. The law of one has, as one of its main parts, the idea of free will. So, everyone is free to say yes, no, or even just ignore the mind, body, and spirit around them, and to ignore creation itself. Many people in your group right now work every day on the law of one, especially on the path of love. But if this same person, who is guided by love and light from deep within their mind, body, and spirit, then took responsibility for every moment of time they have, that person can make much faster progress. Just like we talked about your group's call to the Confederation getting stronger. What about making the call stronger? The call being one. This call is equal to infinity and is not counted. It is the cornerstone. The second call is added. The third call empowers or doubles the second, and so on. Each extra call doubles or gives power to all the calls before it. So the call from many of your people is very, very strong and heard very clearly across the endless parts of the one creation. What are some of the things you can do or exercises you can practice to speed up your journey toward the law of one? I am Ra. Exercise 1. This is the most important and useful one in your make-believe world. The moment holds love. This is what you're meant to learn and achieve in this make-believe world or density. The exercise is to clearly see that love with understanding and awareness. The first try is the most important step. The rest of a person's life experience is built on this choice. The second time you look for love in the moment, it starts to add up. The third time you look, it makes the second time even stronger, and the fourth time makes the third time twice as strong. Just like with the previous way of making things stronger, there will be some loss of power because of mistakes in looking for it and not being completely honest. But telling yourself clearly that you want to find love is such a strong act of will that, as before, the small loss of power from these issues is, well, truly not important. Exercise 2. The universe is one being. When one mind-body-spirit complex looks at another mind-body-spirit complex, you see the creator. This is a helpful exercise. Exercise 3. Look in the mirror. See the creator. Exercise 4. Look at the creation surrounding the mind-body-spirit complex of each entity. See the creator. The base, or what you need first for these exercises, is a liking for what you might call quiet thinking or deep thought, or prayer. With this mindset, these exercises can really work. Without it, the information won't take root in your mind, which means it won't help your body or touch your spirit. I am Ra. The civilizations of Atlantis and Lemuria were not one but two. Let's look at the Mu entities first, the beings of Lemuria. They were pretty simple beings, but, they had very advanced spiritual ideas. This civilization was part of this cycle, first experienced at the beginning of the cycle about 53,000 of your years ago. It was a helpful and harmless place that got covered by the ocean when your planet's tectonic plates shifted, without doing anything wrong itself. The survivors were sent away, and they reached many places in what you call Russia, North America, and South America. The Native Americans, who you feel some connection with in your social views, are the descendants of these beings. Like other people who lived in this cycle, they came from somewhere else. But these specific beings mostly came from a second-density planet that was having some trouble because its sun was getting old and reaching third-density living conditions. This planet was from the Deneb galaxy. The Atlantean people were a very mixed social group. They started to form about 31,000 years ago in your idea of time. It was a slow and very farming-based growth until about 15,000 of your years ago. They quickly gained a high level of technology. This allowed them to use smart energy in a way that gave them information. We can also add that they used intelligent energy, greatly changing the natural flow of the indigo ray, or pineal gland, from divine or endless energy. So they were able to create living things. They started doing this instead of healing and making their own mind, body, and spirit better. This changed their ways to what you might call negative. About 11,000 of your years ago, the first of what you call wars caused about 40% of this population to leave the density by having their bodies fall apart. The second and more destructive conflict happened about 10,822 years ago, according to your idea of time. This changed the Earth, and much of Atlantis was gone, having been flooded. 3 of the positively minded Atlantean groups left this area before that destruction, settling in the mountain areas of what you call Tibet, what you call Peru, and what you call Turkey. I am Ra. We could make this tool a bit more comfortable by giving more support to its body. Other than that, we can only ask again to carefully line up the symbols used to help this tool stay balanced. Our connection is very focused, so the energy we bring must be exact. I am Ra. I leave you in the love and light of the one infinite creator. Go forth then, rejoicing in the power and the peace of the one creator, Adonai.